Okay, for card number 1, I'm going to use this mirror card, and I cut this down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so just the A2 size card, and it's a beautiful color. I took that sort of mint green shimmery card, and I took the die that looks like this, and I ran it through. I did use some washi tape to hold it down, and I kind of made a pattern like that. And you do have to run it through 4 times. I did make a little bit of a boop, but I'm going to go ahead and use it there. So just make sure you just stay away from there so you leave a little border. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Glue does come with the kit, but I wanted to keep it sealed until I was ready to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the one that I have already open. And then I'll have that to use. I'm looking forward to trying that. I ran out of my Nuvo Deluxe from the last whatever kits ago. So I'm just going to center this like this. So don't be afraid to use your dies in a different way to make a lovely pattern. And that's fun. And then I have a strip of that same blue that I'm going to go ahead and go right across there, just to kind of and then I'm going to use the scissors that come in the kit. These are really nice scissors. A mighty gift. I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Now, hopefully this won't freak anybody out, but I did cut off this stamp that says Warm Winter Wishes. I did go ahead and cut the Winter Wishes off because I just didn't want the whole thing on there. So, for this particular card. So I'm just going to stamp that just like that. And put this on a card base using some foam tape. Okay. And that is card number 1. For card number 2, I have a square card here. So let me bring, I have some pre-cut pieces. So I have the beautiful patterned card that came with that. I cut that to 6 inches by 6 inches. I have that craft that I'm going to go ahead. It's very sturdy craft paper with a foiling. Smooth that down. Yeah, that might not stick. I'll have to see. I took a piece of just TV old paper. I took an old craft kit, like from like 11, craft kit 11, and I cut out twice one of the dies, and I'm going to use this as a stencil to use the glimmer paste through. So I'm going to grab myself a craft knife. I'm going to stick this little strip down. It was a spare piece, so use your scraps. I also have this from an old craft kit that I'm going to use and just put it over some white. So while I've got my glue open here, and then we'll do that stenciling. So I'm going to do that. So this is called, this comes in your kit, it is the Glimmer Paste, and that is very, very shiny and shimmery. I don't even know if that's going to pick up, but it is really pretty. And so I'm going to go ahead, bearing in mind I'm going to be putting this about here, so I'm just going to give a little background to this. I'm not going to make the edges harsh at all. I'm just going to, this paper wants to buckle, so we'll let it. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of run that through. Just trying to give a little pattern to, lights are bright, sorry about that. Just trying to give a little pattern to the background. And so that's going to go ahead and dry, so we'll come back to that. Make sure you close these tightly, because if you don't, you'll dry it up. And then just clean your palette knife really quickly with a paper towel. And we'll do a card number 3, which I think the colors are my favorite here. So this, I'm using just a white card base here, just a A2 size. A strip of the glimmer paper that comes with it that is really, really pretty. I really like the colors in this kit with this super pale sort of pebble stone handmade paper and then this really bright light pastel blue. So I'm going to go ahead and, so this is going to be covering my little seam here. But before I do, I'm going to do a little stamping with the snowflake, or well, with the swirl, I think. And put my winter wishes back for a second. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. A little tone on tone with the Versamark, which I think is running low on ink. I used the lights out of this thing. It'll give kind of a watermark a look. Of course you could emboss on this, heat emboss on this. I don't know if this is going to be too bright. My lights are kind of bright because it's at night. Then just kind of turning it every which way, and of course we're going to cover up this bottom, so it's tempting to emboss on top of that. You could. White would be pretty, or clear even. Actually, let's do that. Let's do the clear. Get our heat tool, if I can find it. Alright, so we have that. Hopefully you can see that with this hugely bright color there. And then this is going to go there. Yeah, I like that. You could leave it the other way too, but you know, I figured we're already doing that. We might as well. And use some tape on here since it is bumpy. This piece here is 4x3, and then this of course is an A2 size. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. You just want to make sure you line that up nice and neatly. Now we're going to take our strip here and go ahead and put some glue on there. Pretty. I really like these colors. Very wintry. This could be a winter card. You know, it doesn't have to be just limited to Christmas, but of course if you want Christmas cards on there. So that's going to go like that. Okay, so I've cut, I was really kind of undecided about my sentiment on this one because it was so simple. I didn't want to clog it up. So I took that little, some of the mint paper, the mint shimmer paper in the pack, in the kit with the winter wishes, and then some of this, the craft stripe. I went ahead and made little flag banners off of that. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere just the top part of the winter wishes. Doesn't need much, and I don't want to cover up my thing too much there. It's really pretty, like that. If I get extra bits of something, I stick it on these sheets. That way I can reuse it. Just peeking out so that we can still see our shiny little piece there. And that is of that card. Okay, so we have our 2 cards so far, and then our 3rd card. This is, believe it or not, just about dry. And I'm going to glue this directly down. So I'm going to turn that upside down, and I'm not going to smear. No. So we're going to do that. And then this we are going to put on foam because Just going to use up all my little extra bits there. Alright, got them all off there, and we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to overlap over this line like that. And then that can go on a card base that is 12 by 6, fold it in half, and I will do that off camera. I think are super fun to make. Great craft kit for your value for your money, and you can use them time and time again. As you can see, I've used last year's Christmas. And yeah, so you can make some really pretty cards with all the beautiful papers. So I'll quickly show you those again. Square cards, which are always fun, and then super simple. Alright guys, thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.